Welcome to Monday Night TPK. Hey, welcome back. This is Monday Night TPK. My name is Kyle and I am DMing this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Real Play podcast. Sitting around me at the table are 4 people who like to roll dice and talk in funny voices.
No, I don't.
Depends on the character you're playing, Dana. So, Dana, since you're speaking up, how's Rixer doing these days?
Right now he's very, very sad.
Why is Rixer sad, Dana?
We're not going to talk about it.
Oof. Okay. It's one of those deals, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
What's new in Brielle's life?
Sadness? Because she lost a friend?
Brielle can make friends. Question mark.
She can make friends, but she lost a friend.
That's no good. Do you think the person that has been lost knew that he was Brielle's friend?
Probably not.
That speaks volumes towards how Brielle relates to people in her life.
Yep. Yeah. She does what she does for a reason.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Kyle.
Anything new going on with you and your character?
I mean, which one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because one's,
6 feet under?
oh, you burned
On fire.
He's ash.
Ashes.
Yeah, it's still a technical term.
Ash in the wind.
Oh, man. I wonder what sound that
Oh.
makes. The ash
That
going through the
sounds right.
trees.
Sounds pretty dark.
It definitely was.
A little haggish.
Oof.
But the new guy, Ruvain, he's confused yet fascinated.
Confused yet fascinated. Sounds like a warthog unearthing some bugs under a tree.
Constipate? No.
Constipate?
Ooh,
What
wait.
is that?
That elvish bread doesn't go through you very well. So, Ryan, I need you to tell me this guy's name again.
Ruvain.
Yeah, I need you to tell me again.
Rula Vane.
Rua Vein.
Yeah.
Ruin Veins.
Okay. Not a vampire. Just get that out of the way right now. Not a vampire.
Totally a vampire.
Totally not a vampire.
Okay, cool. Sam,
Yes. Present.
how's Gilly doing?
Gilly's also sad, but has experience dealing with death and dying. So understanding that it's a process, but is also very anxious and unnerved by this new individual that is present, as he might be a crazy person.
You just lost a crazy person in your life. One who talks to quote unquote ghosts, and then seemingly coincidentally out of nowhere appears this new crazy person.
Potentially crazy person.
Potentially.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Another question, Sam.
Yeah, what's up?
What happened last week?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let me get on into that.
Sweet.
All right. Last time, Gilly med-checked Montwood, and he dead. He 100% dead. Iku confirmed, and we decided to backtrack to the clearing in order to burn Montwood's body for a funeral. Gilly and Brielle gathered wood. We prepared Montwood's body for burning, and a mysterious black figure appeared on Rixer's shoulder. Iku confirmed the sighting of the black figure and signaled us to remain calm. Strange black figure now stood at the top of Rixer's staff. Iku told us that it is a Chowinga, and Rixer should feel blessed in its presence. Chowinga pointed at an artifact on Montwood's staff Rixer let him take the artifact. And Rixer now has a leaf ring tattoos on his forearm, and Gilly was baffled. Iku explained that it was a gift or blessing from the Chowinga, and says he may have more information. Oh, Rixer may have more information on it in the morning. Yeah. We continued on until we couldn't see the fire anymore, and we set up camp. Iku said that she would take all of the watches as the rest of us slept. Rixer was out cold, but when he woke up, he had insight into his tattoo. Each ring has a casting of lesser restoration on it. Morning routines commenced somberly. Gilly picked back up the trail of tracks that we were following, and after traveling some time, Iku found a trip line and disabled it. Then we smelt decomposition and saw piles of bones before a clearing. In the clearing, we saw one destroyed hut and a big tree to one side of the clearing. Also, there was a T-Rex. There was also an old stone structure that stood on the other side of the clearing, and flashes of light and thunder and crashes of thunder came from the stone structure, and the stones all shattered and fell around an elf man. The party began to approach the man, and the man summoned a guard, which we found to be an illusion. Gilly attempted to be diplomatic, and Gilly was ignored, and the man began speaking in what Gilly understood as gibberish, but it was actually Sylvan. The man talked about a sacred meeting place. We were confused, but we joined the man in his pile of rubble. The end.
All right. I want to point out also the Tyrannosaurus Rex that you saw was dead.
Oh, it was dead T-Rex.
Yeah, it was
He
a dead
did.
T-Rex. If it weren't a dead T-Rex,
We would be.
Right.
well, at the very least, this episode would be starting a lot different than it is. But as it stands, you guys are, basically standing in the location of what you determined to be the launch site of that goblin village that landed on you. With potentially a new friend, or potentially a new enemy, or potentially
Shoot him with an arrow.
a new frenemy.
Shield.
Oof, oof. It is...
Burn up his spell slots. Keep attacking him.
Oh man, party infighting. This is gonna be great. It's late morning, currently. What's going on, folks? What are we up to?
Ruo will just kind of pace around his pile of rubble here and see if there's any means to put it back together.
Yeah, throw me a knowledge arcana.
Sure thing. Roll on the blessed notebook here.
I can give you some paper to roll on if you want.
14.
14. You know that, from just the little bits and pieces of rubble that are still kind of together, that obviously at once upon a time there was a teleportation circle here.
Yeah.
And you were trying to teleport to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there was a problem of some sort that brought you here, and you don't have the spell teleport.
No.
Of course not.
No, this was a joint venture.
And it'll be a while before you could even possibly probably cast that spell. The symbols and the material components necessary to basically create this pad have been destroyed to the point where you would have to completely recreate the circle to put it back together again.
I just mutter the word fascinating and start writing in a book.
Do you say fascinating in common or Sylvan?
Common.
Okay. Alright guys, so this new person is examining the rubble and muttering to himself.
Gilly's gonna walk up and look at the rubble for herself.
Sure.
You want? Sorry, what was it? Intelligence?
Arcana.
That's a 13.
I mean, you're gonna get pretty much the same thing I just told Ryan.
Okay.
But, like, you can see bits and pieces of what was probably a teleportation circle, and it's completely destroyed.
Is this how you got here? Before you, smashed it?
It does appear so. It appears as though the rumors of Evermeet's defenses are not exaggerating, and that teleportation is not a viable means to transport there.
Alright. So you ended up here.
I have to communicate this to my peers. If I had a way to communicate this with my peers.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't have a way to communicate this with my peers.
that's a conundrum. Maybe making a note of it is a good choice. Do you happen to know where you are?
Do I happen to know where I am? Did they say that last session?
I don't
We did not.
recall. Yeah, I don't think so.
We did not.
Welcome to Chult. You're on an island. It's full of zombies.
It's a peninsula.
It's a peninsula. It's full of zombies. It's quite dangerous. There's also dinosaurs. Points to T-Rex.
Ryan, give me a knowledge of nature.
Sure thing, man. Nature is probably the one thing I don't have knowledge in.
Or history, because Chult has a history too, so I guess history probably actually work better.
How does a 21 work?
You're definitely familiar with, well, you've probably never been to Chult, but you've heard of it. You know, you've heard of the land of the dinosaurs, and you've heard, you know, there used to be, like, full of great kings, and that sort of stuff.
I nod to Gilly and start writing my book saying, fascinating.
With a 21? You said you had?
21, yeah.
21. You would have, I'm sorry, I am trying to think of, like, big major places historically.
Mhm.
Port Nyanzaru, you would know, is the major city for trade. The ancient city of Mesro was located in Chult, but you would know that got destroyed at the end of the Spell Plague. You probably would have heard of rumors of, you know, civil war and warlords right around the time of the Spell Plague, I think.
Sorry.
Right around the time of the Spell Plague, I think. That's me not being 100% sure on the timeline there, but I think it works out. Yeah, I know, right? You're not sure either, because I'm not.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry.
Now stop that.
That one was so hard it almost blew my glasses off my face.
Gross.
Oof.
Is she okay?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So, do you like mazes?
You mean like
And puzzles?
puzzles? Oh, I love puzzles.
Good. There's puzzles here too.
Fascinating.
So,
Right, don't say trust me.
if you're gonna be here for an unforeseeable amount of time, I recommend you travel with us. Because traveling alone may be lethal.
I have some questions.
Yeah. I might not have answers.
The big orc-shaped elephant on the rubble
What?
What?
That's Rixer. He's cool.
he's cool.
Yeah.
He's not. Is he your prisoner?
No,
His
he's my friend.
servant?
Friend.
He's
I-
holding you captive. Blink twice.
He's my friend. He's really cool. I like him a lot. He's good with battle and being a good friend and giving me snacks and
I carry the canoe.
he carries the
Well,
canoe.
I help. Yeah, I help.
Looking at Rixer. How do you feel when you look at me? Do you want to fly into a bloodthirsty rage and tear off my ears for your dread god?
That's racist.
No. Why would I do that? You seem like you're probably nice. Maybe we can be friends.
Right? Just for the fun of it, insight.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely roll insight. You might roll a 0.
I mean, I don't have a good insight, but here we go. It's a 13.
Are you being sincere?
Yeah.
Okay. You're sensing sincerity, Ryan.
Well, I don't want to gouge out your eye.
Why would you ever do that?
Gilly like furrows her brow at this guy. Like,
Old rivalry.
okay. Well, give new friends a chance. We just offered to help you. You'll die if you stay out here by yourself. So, make your choice. What's your next question?
Brielle's gonna walk away a little bit, and just keep an eye out on the perimeter. Make sure nothing's coming. Well, the two that can actually talk to him.
Okay.
/ 3, because Iku's here.
Yeah. EQ would definitely be you with 3 other talkers. Are you looking at anything in particular, Matt?
No, Brielle's just gonna keep a lookout to make sure nothing's coming.
Okay.
The art's talking isn't drawing attention, bringing anything in. So just make that perception, which is a really good perception. Let's see, what's my perception? 21.
You don't perceive anything coming from the jungle that you would consider to be threatening. 20 what?
21.
21.
Yeah.
You do see kind of on the far side of the camp. Well, not camp. There used to be a camp here.
This is like ruins or something, wasn't it?
You're in basically the clearing where the goblin hut used to be,
Oh, that's right.
and there's like there's a busted up hut, the dead dinosaur. There's outside of where obviously it was laying, you can see remnants of campfires and some other stuff. But there's a huge clearing area too where obviously the thing used to be.
Right.
But off to one side, kind of on the edge of the clearing / jungle area, you can see a enormous anthill.
How far away is this?
From where you're at, oh man, that's gotta be 60 to 80 feet without me counting squares.
But it looks like an anthill.
Enormous anthill, yes.
How big is it? Enormous, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw
I mean,
a
'cause,
foot tall anthill,
I could see a
"That's
normal
enormous."
anthill and then see an anthill like this big and say, that's an enormous anthill.
It's good to know that your fingers are about 8 inches apart there. It probably stands, I don't know, 8 feet high,
Holy
Oh.
shit.
15 feet across, more or less circular.
That's a
That's
massive anthill.
Yeah.
gigantic. We're just using different words that you didn't use.
Sorry.
Some of these are official D&D. It's not gargantuan D&D because that
I
would
know,
be,
I'm kidding. Jeez.
So it's effectively a huge sized
Mhm.
anthill.
Yes.
Can I just roll in nature to
Sure.
determine? Let's see. Oh, that's not great, but 15.
It looks like something that could be created by normal-sized ants. I'm sure that's what you're worried about is giant ants.
Giants.
You know that sometimes large ant colonies, if they're encouraged to be safe and continue growing, can get pretty big.
Yeah,
And
I've seen some in real life.
yeah, it's Brielle might
Perfect.
think this might be one of the biggest anthill structures she's ever seen, just because it's not something you see very often. You might also worry about getting too close to it, but at the same time, if it's just regular, with a 15 on just nature check, you're not going to know if there's a bunch of magical
Right.
people eating ants in there or some nonsense. Totally wouldn't happen. But you might also assume that you steer clear of it, give it a wide berth.
Yeah.
Don't go trying to kick it over.
I mean, realistically, enough ants can kill a person.
Pull out my
You
magnifying
get those. You
glass.
get freaking fire ants and stuff in the jungles, man. So,
Hey, we're
wreck
there.
you. Yeah, exactly.
You're in a jungle.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're in a jungle. So, she'll notice that, but she'll keep an eye around the perimeter and make sure nothing is coming.
Your other companion, the Eladrin.
Yeah.
She, to be honest, was the one I was most expecting to have a conversation with, yet she has been the most distant.
Oh, that's because she uses her hands to talk, and not everybody knows that language, except, like, I know that language. So if you want to talk to her, I can translate for you. But she's like my best friend. I knew her before the trip.
That's not why. It's because she's way over there.
Fair point. I can bring her over here if you want.
Yeah, you get a point of inspiration.
I still have inspiration.
Start using it!
That's why I don't
No.
feel bad giving it to you all the time, because you never use them.
Forget about it.
I have a giant 1 on my paper and I still forget it's there.
And I just want to clarify, because some people have misunderstood before, she can 100% understand you. So please don't talk differently to her just because she speaks with her hands. Just because
Noted.
people make judgments. And Gilly will like furrow her brow and like kind of eye flicker over to Rixer, indicating that he had made a judgment about Rixer
Above Riel.
already. No. He was like,
Oh, he had made a...
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go get her? She's probably... Oh, yeah, she's definitely scouting to make sure that we're safe. Because
Safe from what?
Gilly, like, dramatically gestures to the dead T-Rex.
She does a Will Smith.
Oh, that I haven't noticed before.
Dinosaurs. Among other things. There are cannibals here, too.
Have you ever seen a goblin fly?
I don't think it's physically possible for a goblin to fly
No, there was a lot of them.
without the aid of magic. That's not flying.
They were in the sky.
That's falling.
It wasn't stylish. Okay, you want a conversation with her? I'll go get her.
Sure.
Okay. Gilly runs on over because yelling in the jungle's a bad idea. Hey,
Look at the T-Rex and...
Brielle, the new guy wants to have a talk with you. I know. Be patient. I question his moral compass.
She sends a question, who's everything?
Yeah. That too. Good point. But he wants to talk to you. Because, his words, not mine. He was expecting to have a conversation with you.
She's of course he was.
So, you coming?
I suppose.
Okay. Walk on back.
Are you actually an orc? Are you 100% sure that you are an orc?
Rixer will like pull down his lip so you can see his tusks that have been like filed.
That could be a polymorph spell or
No, I don't.
reincarnation. Were you reincarnated?
No, I love magic. I don't know how it works. I'm really strong, and Rixer will go over and pick up the canoe by himself. So, no magic, because sometimes they're not strong.
Yeah.
we come back.
Yeah.
Got her. What's your question?
I had a question. I would just like to apologize for my rude and off-putting behavior. I was confused about my current situation, and I misjudged a situation unfairly. I'm told that you cannot speak plainly and need to use your hands. Unfortunately, I do not know how to do this, but I do understand that you can hear me just well.
She does not.
And I understand that you, for all intents and purposes, are an orc.
Mm-hmm.
Until that's proven otherwise.
Well, yeah. And by the way, this Invixer will hold his fingertips to his chin and do the thank you gesture. This thing is thank you. That's one of the words. Thank you. Now you know.
Gilly gives Wixer a high five.
Yeah. I mean, you probably have to jump in
Yeah.
like a low five for Xer, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's still 5.
Yeah.
Iku during all this is just kind of like smiling.
Ah!
She's been there the whole time.
She's been there the whole time.
Iku was going to ask Ruvain. Man, I hope we didn't cover some of this in the last episode because I don't remember
I can't remember exactly what was said in
Yeah, I don't
at the end of the
either.
last episode.
Where is it that you think you were going?
Myself and a few of my cohorts were trying to see if it will be possible to create a teleportation to Evermeet, which is an elvish paradise.
I see. And when you left where you were others with you at that time?
I volunteered to step through on my own.
And you came through alone?
Yes.
Well,
Excitement of discovering a way to get there without normal means was exciting and fascinating.
sometimes taking the shortcut to a place doesn't get you where you need to be. As my friends have said to you, we have been traveling through Chult now for many days, and they
seem quite formidable to bring down a beast such as that.
oh that was like that when we arrived.
Richter starts walking over there, holding a stick.
Kind of maintains a friendly smirk, but eyes kind of twitching a little bit.
I do not. I have been in these jungles for many years. I find it best to just avoid the Tyrannosaurus Rex, as opposed to attempt to face one head on. Whoever or whatever killed this beast must be very strong.
We have killed some dinosaurs, though, but our friend died. So,
Oh, this is the first time I heard of this?
I think it might be.
I do believe so, yeah.
I share in your sorrow. Though I never met the man, I'm sure he was a good, noble, smart, intelligent, handsome individual.
he was pretty great.
Iku smiles politely.
He liked things.
Things are good. I like things.
How long does it seem like this dinosaur's been dead?
Does anybody go up to it and do a formal investigation?
Yes, I poked it. That's a very
Oh.
formal evaluation.
I'm sorry. I knew you said you were going up to it with a stick. I didn't know you
Yeah,
poked.
and then I just now said poke.
Okay, I didn't hear you. Dan, give me a knowledge of nature check.
With inspiration.
Nice.
Just 'cause. You're both 9s. So that's actually an 8.
Oh, well.
What if I made that a medicine check instead?
Why
'Cause
can't you
you're-
mean? Oh, so that would make it an 11.
Okay, because you are checking to see how long something has been dead.
Yeah.
Things happen fast in the jungle when it comes to decomposition in particular.
Which we've previously learned.
Yeah, so you definitely see that things have begun to eat on this. There's insects living inside of the several deep, very round puncture holes that permeate or perforate rather, the dinosaur's chest and neck and lower jaw. Because it's laying on its side, you can see it has numerous, I said, very round holes. All its belly, its sternum, and up at its neck.
Do they make a line at all? Like some of them?
No, it's not.
Shape of a C, potentially, kind of like. Yeah. As in, from a bite mark.
No,
Okay.
no, they're much too big.
Okay.
These circles are probably 2 inches in diameter.
I don't know how big the dinosaurs get here.
I'm sorry, 2 inches would be 2-inch radius, not diameter.
Okay.
That's,
Okay. Yeah, the main reason why I'm asking is because Rixer wants to find a really squishy part and poke it.
In particular, the areas around the wounds where things have kind of gotten inside of it and started to eat away at it, you can find some very squishy bits.
Okay. Poke.
Your stick goes right inside of it and goes squish.
Okay. I'm gonna do this for a while now. Well, the adults talk.
All right, so Richter's busy poking a dead body.
Gilly will make sure that the dinosaur doesn't stir when Rixer starts poking it, and then just knows it's okay, so just lets him be.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
Okay. I imagine Brielle is just standing there waiting.
Just standing there waiting for him to talk to me.
Yep.
I did.
Oh. Okay.
I thought you were going to say more.
I didn't know.
Oh.
Okay.
She's expecting more.
Basically had the conversation I was going to have with you, with her.
Okay.
I was expecting to have that conversation with you.
Okay. So, now what? Do you want me to keep looking for the tracks? Are we ready to move forward? Are you joining us?
It probably would be safer, as I do not know where I am or where I'm going or how to get there. If you would have me, I do have some abilities at my disposal that might be of assistance.
Awesome. Yeah. Just remember that we're all friends here, because we gotta work together to stay alive.
It will take some adjustment, but everything will be all right.
Awesome. I'll be patient. And Gilly hands you a food bar.
Food.
Yeah,
All right.
like the ration bars. This is a big deal.
This is basically like a granola bar thing.
From a halfling, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm giving
it's
you
like an otter
food.
giving you the rock.
Yeah.
So after Rixer. Wow.
Wow.
Rixer.
Space spin-off.
Taser face.
Taser face.
After Rixer has poked around in these holes, the dinosaur for a while, I would like to make an animal handling check to be trying to tell if any of these holes were like from, like I kind of had already asked about like a bite mark from that shape, but like, or a horn, or if it seems like it wasn't from an animal, but maybe a weapon instead, which I get that animal handling wouldn't help with that, but it'd be like very obviously
Nature
not
check.
an animal. And I say animal handling because of him like working on a farm and stuff like that versus the nature.
Brielle's gonna go over and join her because I wanted to check it out too.
Sure,
so.
Dana. With that logic, I will let you use animal handling in this instance.
I mean, it's a difference of +4 instead of -1.
I understand.
So
I understand. You sell it to me. I'm open to things. Just sell it to me.
that is an 11 though.
Total?
Yeah.
You're pretty sure these are not from like something biting it.
Cool.
I'll give that much to you.
Cool.
Because the conversation with the new guy is over, Brielle wanted to investigate the dinosaur too.
Sure.
So she's gonna mosey over there
She has Mosey's over there.
and do an actual investigation on it to see what killed it.
Rickster though would be like, hey, look at this, and poke an extra squishy part that like makes a bunch of bugs come out.
It's pretty gross. Even like from Brielle's experience, like that's kind of gross.
That's yeah. So, oh God, nope. I rolled a 3 on the die. With my +4, still not very much.
I was really worried that something even bigger bit this.
Yeah, that's.
But I
I wanted
don't-
to investigate to see if maybe those giants that we had saw previously maybe fought this thing, or the wizard killed it that we're following, or another dinosaur killed it, or maybe the goblins killed it before they fled. That's what I was looking for, but I rolled a 7.
But like Rickster would be like, maybe, hopefully, there's not something bigger than this, because it didn't bite it. So, that's good.
Because I cannot remember, do we know if Iku either is reading my mind or can read sign language? She knows I'm saying stuff though, right?
You definitely figured out that
She knows what I'm saying. So I'm going to sign to Iku and ask her, and if she's not near us, I'll go over there.
Sure.
And ask her if there's anything bigger than a T-Rex or big enough to take down a T-Rex. Because it's got puncture holes all over in it, so something attacked it.
So she will kind of go say, "Well, let me examine this thing. I off the top of my head, I can't think of much in this jungle other than a dragon, which I suppose would kill a T-Rex. But other than there's a couple dragons in this jungle, not much else is going to be bigger." And as she gets closer and sees just the size of the marks, I don't.
Look. Poke.
Yes.
Brielle was saying, wouldn't a dragon also leave claw marks, not just puncture marks?
She nods her head. That does make a lot of sense, and I do not see any claw marks on here. I also don't think Tinder is her name, the most prominent dragon in the jungle. I don't think Tinder would have left the body here if she had killed this T-Rex. She probably would have eaten it.
Definitely would have swiped right.
I was trying to think of the Tinder joke. I was trying real hard. That was good one. She didn't swipe right.
That was quite good.
Thank you.
She would have swiped straight through.
There you go.
So Iku is going to do a. What would that be? Just a. It's not a perception. It's the other one. Investigation.
Investigation, yeah, that's what I rolled.
Yeah, I'm looking at her stats. Investigation's intelligence.
Yep.
Okay. So Iku's going to make an investigation check on it. Oof. Iku gets a 22 total.
Jeez.
Way better than I did.
And me.
So you can kind of take in the whole picture. she was going to point out that many of the holes have
Oak.
been eaten away at by critters from the jungle. But some of them you can kind of still see the original full shape, and point out that they're very, very, almost perfectly round. Which tooth marks could be, but they're not in a pattern that would suggest any kind of bite mark. And then she's going to kind of like take in the whole scene and point out that there's a lot of just really thick mud under the T-Rex. And the ground's very, I mean, it's around grass and dirt and everything, but like the ground right here under the T-Rex is a lot wetter than anything else around here. And ultimately, she's going to say that she's not sure what killed this thing because the wounds and the whole evidence kind of seems unnatural in a way that she's not familiar. Let me just make a straight intelligence check. That's going to beat that. She is going to ask how, in particular, like Brielle and Rixer, how much have the two of you walked around this creature and through the dirt around it?
I walked over that way and just kind of like point around the head and like to the backside, but it wasn't as much fun, so I came back the same way.
I see.
Is that what you want to know?
Yes.
Okay, because I also stood over there a little bit and I poked the tail,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back over here and I poked that spot. I like this spot.
This is a very good poking spot. Good job, Rixer. You can poke all of the worst pieces of this T-Rex.
Okay.
You mentioned unnatural.
Yes.
Would you mind if I take a look at it?
Sure.
I might see something that maybe the layman missed.
Sure. When you,
I have Arcana, History, Investigation, Wisdom, and Religion.
yeah. What do you want to do?
I guess an investigation would probably be the first part.
Sure.
Sam, is
Are you
Gilly
investigating the
over
monster or the ground,
by
Ryan?
Oh,
Did he
that's
point
right.
out the ground? as
Because
being
he's
unnatural,
pointed out
right?
the ground, and that's what I was going to investigate that next.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that, I would like to help you
Oh, so
because I have investigation.
yeah, all right, yeah.
So you,
Okay, cool.
Crummy. Natural 20.
Nice.
26.
Wow.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ryan, because you didn't see some of the stuff these guys saw earlier, the DC for this has to be a lot harder. However, you broke 25.
I mean, you almost made it impossible.
Yeah. Well, so 30 is nearly impossible according to my chart here. You have this crazy thought. Okay, because the puncture wounds have already been pointed out to you, so those are obvious. Right? You don't have to find those. The shape of them has already been pointed out, right? So there's bits of information already on the table to kind of help tie things together. You're going to say that, well, you might have the idea. This seems a little bit crazy, a little bit far-fetched. But there seems to be no evidence of a remaining puncture, thing that created the puncture wounds. Okay, the wounds are devoid of broken off teeth or weapon slice marks or something. And all this extra mud on the ground, and this heat, which you're more acutely aware of than the rest of these guys who are more used to it.
Mm-hmm.
If something made of ice were to have, particularly the spell Ice Storm, could severely bring down a creature, especially if it's something that's casted higher than 4th level, as it's normally cast at, could leave chunks of ice in the body that would quickly melt and then create all this mud and create these perfectly round puncture holes.
I didn't have the spell, but I had a feeling it was an ice
So,
spell of some
From
kind.
that
but I didn't want to meta
information,
it.
it's like it's as though something stabbed it repeatedly and then disappeared. As though it was no longer solid, but liquid. I could do that.
And the rest of you guys have seen, obviously.
Right.
The ice, yeah.
So you guys jump into that conclusion would be pretty reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
So, can Rixer do it?
Sure.
Rixer's big. Guys, do you remember when we saw the big floating ice in the river?
Yeah,
Do you think it was that? Like, same thing?
could be. If someone can manipulate ice to make a bridge, I bet they could probably manipulate ice to make a spear or multiple.
Braille will sign the those. What were they? Troll? They weren't trolls.
Ogre?
Ogres, right? The ogres were frozen
Yeah.
by ice. So
So somebody's
I feel like we're following. I think we're on the right trail,
Well,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
following maybe this possible wizard that has an keen to ice spells.
that. When, sorry. Wasn't that area, like, really, really cold?
It was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we know that whoever did it is really powerful. Spells. So.
Yeah.
Are you guys having the conversation where Rua Vane can hear it?
I mean,
Yes.
I mean,
Rixer's not part
he
of this
doesn't know what I'm
conversation.
saying, but
That was, I guess, Dana just summarizing information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, you didn't do it in your Rixer voice,
No.
so.
Yeah.
But
I definitely think that the wizard that we're following could probably manipulate, or likes to manipulate water and ice.
That ice felt so good. I wish some ice was left. And actually kind of like kicks the dinosaur body a little bit.
It gets up and bites you.
Brielle's gonna sign to Gilly and ask her to ask the new guy about Artis and Sinbar, which is the guy that we think we're looking
Artis.
for. Artis Sinbar.
Okay. Hey, do you know an artist, Simbar?
Artist Simber?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Gilly just shrugs.
Because I don't think I have.
What?
From what Ryan knows of him, I probably wouldn't.
If you could hit a 30.
I cannot.
If you hit a 30, I'd give it to you. But that's what that DC would be.
26 was his best.
Sorry.
For now.
And I can tell you why it would be that high, but that would give away some plot to you guys. I know, spoilers. So, where do we go from here?
I guess
Do you want me to pick up the trail?
Yeah, I guess if we know, Brielle's gonna start looking around to see if we can find a trail of where. Did we pick up the trail of the lizard person?
We did, and then we came to the clearing.
So I'm gonna look for. She's gonna look around for tracks for a lizard person, human, or maybe broken twigs of which way they would have went through the woods.
Sure.
I'll help you.
That's 19 for the net 20. Nope. 22.
So, the ground around the T-Rex, as I said, is just like, there's just kind of mud everywhere. There's now crisscross footprints from everyone that's walked through it. Other parts, you know, it's always kind of wet and damp with the on and off rains. You guys have been moving around a little bit, so a lot of like the space in this area, this big clearing, is kind of a mess. But you can still make out pretty clearly where a very large circular place was, like where this village was originally sitting.
Right.
And under that, the ground is a lot more densely packed, and footprints are staying a lot longer. You haven't had any major rains in the past couple days since this thing. It really was just like the night before, really, since this thing launched. So like you guys can make out your footprints pretty easily and clearly. And with
2, I think I said.
22, you can see, and again, kind of like these footprints almost start abruptly from like just the mess of outside the circle, and then like once a couple footprints steps into the circle area, you can see it pretty clearly actually.
Okay.
Very similar boot prints to what you guys had seen with human feet, and then beside it is I don't know, dragonborn looking lizard foot feet.
Some kind of lizard.
Yeah, some
type
sort of
thing,
lizard feet. And you can kind of like find where they kind of come in towards the center of the village, and they kind of cross all the way across the circle, and you can see they stood in front of the tree that used to be holding down the launch mechanism. And you can tell because a bunch of branches are missing. It's got a huge rope attached to it, and it looks like they stood there and kind of moved around just a small area for some amount of time. You know, you might infer maybe they were just talking or trying to figure things out or thinking
Right.
about the situation. And that's where they stop. They never go any further.
Braille's just gonna stand in that spot and look thoroughly confused.
Yeah, Gilly will do the same and then sign, where did they go? And like look around for like footprints leading away.
Right, and with your 20 plus, like, and these were relatively fresh. I mean, you can see where they clearly go from point A, where they start, and, you know,
To
that's
this
including looking around further in this circle, trying to find others.
Nothing.
They're gone.
Bria will sign, well, there's either they flew away, there's spells that can cast fly, or they did what our new friend did and just teleported out of here.
Why would they teleport here, though, not earlier?
Maybe they found what they were looking for.
Perhaps.
I think that the need for stealth emerged.
But even casting invisibility would leave tracks.
Would you be opposed to doing an Arcana check
I
to
was just-
recall any information about a spell that could make it so you don't leave tracks?
Go for it, yeah.
I think I know there of one, but I'm not.
I do
100%
too,
sure.
but Brielle's not aware of enough
What?
arcane spells.
That is leaving.
Huh?
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to be talking.
Just assume
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Gilly is translating.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna call you over, but
Yeah.
then you interjected,
I'm
and I was like,
sorry.
"Oh,
I
you're
am
here."
so
Okay.
sorry. I was
Just
I was getting
assume.
ahead.
We could probably just assume at this point that Gilly is a.
Try your best
Translating
not to
it.
do that, but
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens.
So
Until
talking to
Gilly
Gilly.
dies.
Until Gilly dies.
Until Gilly dies, and that's a
Aces.
problem.
That's an 18.
I mean, like, you're thinking of probably pass on a trace? Is that what you're thinking of?
That's what I'm thinking of.
I mean, yeah, that's a spell that would make it so you can't really find tracks. That's an example of one. Do you want, I mean, are you trying to figure out if that's been cast here?
I do have detect magic, but I don't think it works that way.
I don't think it does either, but
Everybody's looking up their spells right now.
well, I'm reading past on a trace here.
Yeah, I just looked at it too. It does say you cannot be tracked.
It does last for an hour,
Yeah.
but probably the effects would be permanent, I would assume. Like, the tracks made during that hour are permanently obscured.
So that's my professional theory, Gilly.
Well, now what? We can't follow them anymore,
Mm-mm.
and now it's real far away to get back to the river.
When you say that, Iku.
I was gonna say I was gonna ask Iku if just going on foot from here to where we were going, because we're kind of going in what we assume is the right direction towards
Iku
where
told
we were
us.
going. Yeah. If it'd be faster to backtrack and finish taking the river, or if we should just go from here.
Iku's actually, yeah, like as when Gilly says that, and she kind of starts like looking around a little bit, and kind of you can see her thinking. She's going to say to you that I am fairly certain that we are going to be no more than a day's travel from the river.
Oh,
That we have kind of been, we went out for a day and then have kind of been walking parallel to it for the past couple of days.
well, I think that might be better because it seems like a more efficient means of travel than walking. And definitely less dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think
Less dangerous for sure.
I think we should get back to the river and get in the boat again. Boats. Oh God, where's our other boat?
Now,
Our
that
other boat
boat,
is back
however, is several
by the-
days behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, our other boat is way back.
Crap.
Yeah. We all can't fit in one boat though, right? We've determined that?
Not with all of our stuff.
I would make the argument that if you guys, as individuals, wanted to cram yourself in the boat, you probably could. But as Sam just said, as Gilly just said, not with all your stuff.
And we need our stuff.
We need our stuff.
Let's see here. You guys were, and Iku will be telling you this, you were going to Umbala originally
Yeah.
before you started trying to track down the source of all this ice. She's going to guess that on foot, you're about 9 days away.
Oh no.
How long would it take us by river if we head towards the river, which is a day off, and then take the boat?
Back upriver.
Upriver to Umbala. Yeah.
So, because Umbala is inland about 2 days' journey, you would save about a day or two by going to the river, spending the rest of the time on the river, and then going inland towards Umbala.
So it'd save 2 days.
You'd save 2 days.
Okay, so Brielle, the reason why I asked this is, so Brielle's going to point out that if they're heading the same way that we are, if we go back to the river and take the boat, we might be able to cut them off the path.
Gilly will reiterate that to the group. And say, but that still doesn't solve our dilemma of us all getting on the river without losing stuff.
We might just have to ditch some stuff.
How big are the trees in this area? How big around?
You can easily find trees that are big enough around to carve your own canoe,
That's why I'm asking.
That's going to take a while, though.
but that would... You guys, as far as I'm aware, don't have, like, carpentry tools or anything.
I actually
Rickster
have
has carpentering
Yep,
tools.
proficient with them and have them.
Yep.
Holy wow.
Remember he cut the
Oh,
door off
wow.
in the
Right,
very
and
beginning?
have been
Yeah.
making little
And he's been
figurines.
whittling and stuff, yeah.
We recorded those back in December, guys. Sorry. I forgot about that.
That's
true.
And I mean, and it doesn't have to be pretty.
Yeah, that's true.
It
It's
just
just
has
got to
to
be
float.
good enough to sit on, even if we just carve it enough to make like a saddle-ish
Right.
kind of form for a couple people to sit on. We could drag it behind a boat.
Or even if we made like a box shape and all of our stuff goes in that.
Right.
And
Like
we all sit in the boat.
essentially a
Right.
short canoe just for this stuff.
Mm-hmm. A canoe trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe even Gilly could still ride in it and help
Whee!
take
It's
it less space.
Canoe.
Yeah, you could totally do that. If other people help you who are maybe they're not proficient, but you could like give them pointers on how to help.
Okay.
Gilly would definitely help. Gilly doesn't want
I say
to
make
lose
it a
help
group effort and everybody
or
help.
lose stuff.
I'm gonna Google date. How long does it take to carve a canoe?
But it's not gonna be a full canoe.
Takes forever to make a legit canoe. But if we just makeshift like a couple holes to stuff our stuff
Yeah,
in.
I'm thinking like, I don't know, 3-4 feet, and then just like.
I mean, if we could even find a tree that's a little bit hollowed out already, I mean, all we have to do is.
I might have an idea to expedite it.
What?
I'm sorry, but just to, if you were to Google how long does it take to carve a canoe,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna like fact check this, but according to Bear Mountain Boat Shop, not our sponsor, folks, this snippet from Google suggests 7 to 8 hours.
Really?
Oh.
What?
Probably like backbreaking, like nonstop 7 to 8 hours.
Well,
I'm guessing.
but also that's not.
We
like
could do
hand
that in a
tools.
sleep, like.
That's not your hand tools, probably.
Mhm.
Ryan, you're gonna like freak out. What's up, buddy?
I have an idea on how to expedite it.
Do you have that spell, haste?
No.
Unseen servants?
I'm showing Dana my spell right now.
Sorry, I can't see very well.
The top one.
no,
No, never mind. That would have worked. Only lasts a minute. I'm sorry.
Oh, darn it.
What spell is it?
Enlarge.
Yeah.
This big orc.
Yeah.
That would be great.
But it only lasts a minute, so never mind.
But I mean, a minute with a giant chisel, just go,
Right?
just dig out a crevice in a log.
Would it makes tool, like if I'm holding a tool, it would
I
make
could do
that
the
bigger
tree,
too?
make the tree smaller.
But then you'd have to make, well, and then after the minute it would pop back, right?
But it would
Yeah.
have the holes carved into it.
Right. So yeah, cut it down, make it smaller, make one big scoop out of it,
Yeah.
let it pop back.
I think we lost Kyle.
Kyle is not happy
Does it
about
say?
this talk.
Does the spell say it has to be a creature?
It says creature or object.
Perfect.
Pop-up canoe trailer. Go.
So
Kyle's gonna roll here.
we gave Kyle his first face palm of this campaign.
I don't know if that's our pride or shame.
Do you guys have an axe to cut a tree down?
I have carpenter tools. I'm assuming that includes an axe? No?
No. Not a tree felling axe.
No.
What does an explorer's pack have in it? Does it have an axe?
Not a tree felling axe.
Well,
You might be able to argue that has a small hand hatchet, which is gonna take forever, but or a throwing axe, that'll take forever too.
In the jungle, though,
But
there's chances we could find just a downed tree already.
Yeah.
And we've got a day's walk back to the river.
Yeah.
We could keep an eye out and see what we can find till then.
that's fair.
Not, we could do 2 casts of enlarge and have enlarge Rixer, have him knock over a tree, and then we'll shrink the tree.
Or you just reduce the tree to begin with.
And it'll like,
snap it off.
Just snap it off.
would it go all the way to the roots of the tree? Because then you just like reduce it, and it's like in this like 2-foot hole, this tiny little tree. You just pluck it out.
Pluck it.
I will have to look at the spell because I haven't read.
It just becomes one size bigger or larger.
Okay, so
Smaller or larger.
I mean a tree is gonna be. I'm gonna say a tree is at least a large size object. So you're making just a medium sized object, which I don't know. You guys gotta get a tree you can knock over. Find a way to find a tree. I mean, you could try doing a survival check. You got options here, but
I do think that finding a tree that's already down, especially because it doesn't have to be very big, would probably be the best bet.
So, I can't remember if this was out of game or we actually found it. Did we or did we not find the tree that launched the village? And was it downed?
It's built like a catapult.
Oh, it's still
It's
standing.
built like a
Okay.
catapult.
Yeah.
Here's the question though. The T-Rex had to bust its way into this clearing. Maybe there's some knocked down trees over there where it came in at.
Yeah.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
it'd be worth, like, you know, taking an hour even to look.
And the T-Rex would have left some pretty big footprints that we could track to where it came in at originally.
Mhm.
You guys can totally try looking around. Give me survival checks.
Okay.
Whoever's doing this.
Does anyone want help?
I will help.
I cannot.
I cannot.
Oh yeah, I'll take that other one. That was a natural one on the second one. That is a 16.
You can definitely find where the T-Rex originally came in at. It was kind of to the south of where you're at now. In fact, it looks like it kind of like ran in, like attacked this hut that's kind of off to the side. You guys haven't really looked at yet. And then moved around a lot, and then whatever happened. It fell
Yeah.
apart. But you don't get the sense, at least immediately around the village, that it knocked over anything big enough to become, you know, there's a bunch of dead shrubs that have been stepped on and some other like smaller trees that are broken, but nothing at all like what you guys are looking for.
What are their huts made out of?
Small branches and leafy
Thatch.
thatch, I guess is the best way to
What do
put it.
we have for tarps?
We have, I believe, 2 regular tarps, and then we have 2 rain tarps.
In 2 tents? Because we found a tent.
Wood making, like
2 tarps, 2 rain catchers. We didn't buy tents, but we did find tents.
Oh, that's right.
It's in my inventory here somewhere.
What was your idea, Richard?
So we could use lash branches together, kind of make a frame, and then put a tarp in it. And since it won't be as steady as like a mini canoe, we could maybe just attach it to the side of the canoe, like a sidecar motorcycle. But it's a canoe, a side canoe.
Side note.
Maybe need some
We
branches underneath though, so that we have a frame and then
And then like a bottom.
could
crisscross
easily
underneath.
make something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that at first, like just take our packs and stuff and hook them on the side, but I like the tarp idea.
Yeah.
And just throw all our excess stuff. We'd have to have both tarps because
Yeah.
we need to even the boat out, but
Yeah.
just throw all our excess stuff into the 2 tarps that hang off the side. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's probably something you would just construct once you get to the water.
Yeah.
Guess.
Yeah.
So you're not spending much time doing it right now. Cool. It sounds like you guys have kind of got a plan. As terrifying as that sounds. Very good, very good. Well, now that you have made a plan of action or inaction, and you've been able to like investigate this dead T-Rex, you've been able to talk to the new guy a little bit more. I think we're at a point where we need to end our episode.
Hey, that's all for tonight. Thanks for listening. If you want to get to know us better, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Monday Night TPK. You can also find Monday Night TPK at Above the Table Games on YouTube. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. And thanks always for listening, and we'll always save a seat at the table for you. Have a good night.
Yeah, I need to tell me again.
Rula Vane.
Rua vein.
Yeah.